Hi guys, it's John from Android Addicts, and this is a review of all of the official Samsung covers for the Galaxy Z Flip 3. So as you can see, I've got them all laid out here in front of me, and what we're going to do is go through each case in turn, from cheapest to the most expensive, and we'll just go through each case and see how it looks and feels on the phone, and then hopefully you can make the right choice as to which one you go for. As I go through the video, I'll be mentioning the recommended retail price of these cases. Now, you can normally get these cheap on Amazon, so I will put Amazon links in the description below if you want to pick any of these up. And please do click on the like button and subscribe to my channel if this video helped you out, as that really helps me out. And without any further ado, let's get on with the video. Okay then, so we're going to start off with the clear cover with ring. This is the cheapest case that they do, which is £24. And it comes just in a single colour as well, just this transparent colour. So let's get into it and have a look at what it looks like. Okay, so we can see that this one does come with a set of instructions, so we will follow those to make sure we actually put it on correctly. So the case is actually a hard cover. It's not flexible. Well, very slightly flexible, I guess. So, but it is a hard shell, which I was actually expecting it to be a sort of TPU cover, but it's not. So it's a hard plastic shell, as we can see here. Okay, so I thought it was actually a sticky plastic, but it's not. It is just a piece of plastic, basically, with some film on. But they've put this on to just cover it up, to keep it in good condition, I guess. So this is going to be quite interesting if I just peel off this back section as well. So what we'll end up with is something like that. And then we'll also peel off these top sections. So you're basically ending up with a nice sort of clean plastic setting for your phone to go into. Now, it's going to be quite interesting to get this in here, so let's try popping in the bottom first. We don't need the top part in just yet. But we do want this to align as best as we can. Okay, that's looking good. And now the top section. Okay, I'm going to just move it around with the cord here whilst I push this forward and down, because it's going to be easier to control where that lands from the back. Okay. It's not 100%, you can see that that is slightly out of line, so I'm going to just do that again. Okay, that didn't go too badly. That's pretty much lined up now. It probably helps if I get the phone in fully as well, so it's all lined up properly. Okay, so I'd say that's now safe and secure in there. It's certainly one of the fiddliest cases I've had to put on, I think, in my time, but still, it is now on. Okay, so this is the clear cover with ring case. Once it's finally been installed, this is what your phone will look like. As you can see, it's very well protected all around. The hinge of the phone here is still bare, just with this ring here, which will obviously add some protection if you dropped it. But yeah, when your phone is open, it will look like this. Now, it's got a good feel to it. It's nice and sturdy. You can see the grip is very good at the back here. And obviously with this added ring here, we can actually hold it. We can even put a finger through the ring and let's just hold it and keep it completely safe in our hands. So that's quite a nice little add-on to the case. I know you get those pop socket type things which people stick onto their phones, but this being part of the case itself and, you know, pretty much wedged in there now, is a nice little feature to have. You can see how it opens up with the fold. Seems to function quite well. It doesn't add too much weight to the phone. It's nice and lightweight, being a sort of hard shell. It's just plastic, hard plastic. Okay, let's just double check all the cutouts are okay. So we can see the dual mics there are fine. The ambient mic at the top's fine. Speaker and USB are all okay. Now we've got a full cutout here for the volume and power key. So those aren't fully protected. There is a cut there. Obviously the fold of the phone is only protected by this ring, so these edges could get damaged if it was to fall on a corner like this. So if we have a look here, we can see that the cameras are protected very nicely here. We've got a good few millimeters going all the way around, and obviously the cover screen itself is also protected nicely with this case. No problems at all. If you put your phone down this way now, you don't need to worry about getting that scratched. Obviously, we have the added benefit that this can now be stuck on your keyring with other things if you wanted to, or just for holding it and, you know, not wanting to drop your phone on the floor. This is quite a nice little ring to have. So the ring itself, it feels quite sturdy. It is a metal ring, and the stitching here looks pretty good. I don't think that's going to come off anytime soon. We could obviously give it a good pull and see, and that isn't going anywhere. So that's nice to know that if you did hold your phone like this, it is safe with this ring attached. But we will just have a look at screen protection itself. So we can see there is a millimeter or two of screen protection here, most of the way around the case. Obviously we have this section here which is not protected, so that is worth bearing in mind. But if you were to put your phone down on the table, I think we are safe to say that we are protected here. Just about to see my fingers at the back there. So there's full protection here, so you could put your phone down on the table without worrying too much about it. And obviously you've got the added advantage that you can now just pick it back up with the ring, and away you go. So does this ring add any wobble to your phone? Well, there's some wobble here as we go further up the case. Obviously we're just lying on this ring here, as you can see. So if you were to try and use it on a table and you press at the top half, that wouldn't be so good. Let's try it with the ring at the bottom. And obviously it works like a seesaw, which isn't the best for using on a table. So using on a flat surface with this case isn't necessarily a very good idea. I will just show the fold itself as well. So if it did drop down, you can see if it dropped and it happened to drop absolutely flat like this, then you are protected by that ring. But if it was to drop on a corner, it would indeed impact on the fold itself. So that was the clear cover with ring, and that comes in at £24. Right, next up we have the silicone cover with ring. So this should be the same as the transparent one, but it's made with silicone instead, so it should hopefully be a nice soft case. Now this does retail at £10 more expensive at £34, but it does come in other colours as well. So we've got navy, green, olive green and coral. So I've gone for the coral colour here, as you can see, and it looks like quite a nice case. Let's open up and have a quick look. Okay, so interestingly, this one does actually have the ring pre-installed, which is quite nice. So we don't have to worry about going and lining up bits of plastic like we will on the transparent one. We can see also inside we have these little sections, which are, I'd say, for adding grip. They're little sort of rubber feet almost, which look like they're going to help this case grip onto your phone. Now it does have a sort of softish material in here, but I guess you may well need a bit more grip, which is why these sections have been installed here. Got the Samsung logo on the back there. But yeah, hopefully this is going to be a bit quicker to get on than the transparent case. It most certainly is. Okay, and there we have it. That is the silicone cover with ring. And we can see it's quite a nice effect, this one. It feels really nice and smooth. Yes, there is that sort of silicone feel that you expect from these cases now. So yeah, that's quite nice. And again, it's quite lightweight. It doesn't really add much weight to your phone at all. And although it's soft, it is obviously a hard shell as well, so there's no bends or anything happening here. Interestingly, compared to the transparent one, we do actually have the volume keys covered up here. Obviously we can't cover up the power key, otherwise the fingerprint reader wouldn't work. So this is how your phone would look in this case. if you were to purchase it. It's quite nice, and again, obviously having this ring does help you hold the phone itself. This is quite a long, sort of narrow phone, so actually I do think a ring like this is quite a good idea, because it is a bit long and narrow, like I say, to actually hold sometimes. So having that extra sort of grip or support for the phone is quite a nice idea. And here it is with it closed up. And we can check all the cutouts here, and they are all lined up nicely. Again, like we said before, we have the power key on display here. We can test. There's no problems at all. Pressing these in, it's nice and soft. You get good feedback from the volume buttons. So let's just check and see if the screen is protected, and we can see that the case does protrude slightly. Again, like the transparent one, maybe a millimetre or two off the screen itself. Checking the camera setup here, we can see again plenty of room there for protection, and for the cover screen, no problems at all there putting your phone down. So let's just open it up and pop it onto the table and see how it looks. We can see we're nicely protected, and the corner, obviously, or the corners where the power button is on display, are keeping it off the table, as you can see. So that's not going to be an issue at all. So again, it passes the table test, and we're going to have a similar thing as with the previous case, where the ring is going to add some wobble to the phone when you're using it. If you place it flat down, depending on which direction the ring is in, it's going to add a bit of wobble to your phone. So this isn't really, or these ones with the rings aren't for people who like to use their phone flat on a table. So if you do a lot of typing like this, I would certainly avoid this type of case. So yeah, £34, quite a nice one. Again, I do like the soft feel of this case. Whether this would pick up dust, I don't know. The silicone can sometimes sort of build up some fluff and things on it. But I think overall you'd probably be okay with this case. It's quite nice. Again, we do have the issue that the fold itself isn't protected from the corners. So if it was to drop down at a corner or at an angle like this, it would damage the fold. If it was to drop straight down like this, you'd be safe, protected by that ring. But the chance of that are probably pretty low. So yeah, just remember that your fold itself is not actually protected with this case. Right, next up is the silicone cover with strap, and this also retails at £34. It comes in navy and it comes in white, which is the one I have here. This is probably the most funky looking case out of the ones that we're going to look at today. I quite like this, you know, this big bold flip on the sort of strap here. It really stands out and it looks quite cool in my opinion. Now I'm expecting this to be similar to the silicone cover with ring, but just obviously having the strap instead. So let's just have a look. So we've got a couple of stickers on the inside. Let's just take those off. And again, we have some covers on these little grippy sections of the case. Okay, there we are. This is the silicone cover with strap out of its case. And yeah, it's all nicely attached for us already, so no worries about that. Let's pop the phone in and see how it looks. Okay, it probably helps if I don't get the strap caught up before it goes down. Let's bring that up as far as we can. There we are. And just clip that over. Now we're just going to push the case on. Just ease it on there. Okay, so this is the case on now. And you can see it's a nice snug fit here, as were the other cases. It's got a nice feel to it. Again, the silicone sort of soft touch feel. Now, when the phone is open, you do get this area that you can use to secure it in your hand. And obviously the Z Flip branding on there is quite nice. Now the grip of these silicone cases is obviously non-existent apart from the fact you do get this additional strap here that makes it more secure in your hand. Again, with the cutouts, we've got the power button showing there for the fingerprint. We've got everything else lined up fine at the bottom of the phone and at the top of the phone. Let's just check the buttons here. And as with the previous silicone case, very nice feedback there. Just check the screen protection. As you can see, we've got a good millimetre or two protecting the screen. And the same on the cover screen here. Got plenty covering and protecting both the screen and the cameras. So let's just have a look at the screen protection then, just to confirm that's okay. And as you can see, definitely no problems at all there. Popping this down on its front. Now with this strap here, we will hopefully have less of a wobble, if any at all. So there's no wobble whatsoever, no matter which way I press. So it's a really nice case here without any issues, and with the added benefit of being able to grip your phone easily without any wobble to be heard of. Now if we left the sort of strap like this, how does that affect things? It doesn't, because that just pops straight back out as you saw. So you can actually put your phone down if it was facing the right way, and it does seem to just flatten itself out. So even with it sticking out a bit, there's still no wobble to be seen. So yeah, this cover strap is definitely better for less wobble on your phone when it's flat on a surface, if you are going to be using your phone flat down on the table. Now I believe this is actually exchangeable, this strap. Now I don't have any other straps to put on, and I quite like the one that comes with it, but I believe if you did want to put your own strap on, you can do by just removing this and then sticking your own one on there. I will obviously stick with the official Samsung one, as I think that looks pretty cool. We can also see that the fold is protected better with the strap case than the previous two ring cases, because there's obviously a wider area of protection here. Now it can still be damaged if it fell on the corner here or here, but it is a lot better protection than the ring in my opinion, I'd say. So yeah, that is the silicone cover with strap. And so far, I'd say this is my favourite one. And at £34, it's not really breaking the bank either, so it's the official case with actually some decent features at a reasonable price. Right, next up we have the Aramid cover here. So Aramid is a material which is basically very durable but also very thin. So this is the equivalent of a sort of thin fit case, I guess you could say. Now it is quite expensive. This comes in at £59 RRP. So it's not, you know, it's not cheap, but hopefully for the price, obviously you're protecting your beloved phone here, hopefully it's worth it. Now it does only come in one colour as well, which is black, as we see here. So let's have a look at what it looks like inside and then how it looks on the phone. Okay, so we have it in two sections here with some stickers inside. We'll just peel these off. And we do also have the sort of grippy texture here on both sides. So we will take off the protective layer there. Okay, so yes, it is extremely thin, as you can see. That's only a few millimeters thin, but it is very tough. But yeah, this is basically meant to be a very thin fit sort of armor case if you want to keep your phone as safe as possible. So let's pop it on and see how it looks. Very easy to go on there. And yeah, this does feel extremely thin. You can barely actually tell that you've got a case on because it's very thin. Now the grip on this isn't very good, I'd say. That is going to slide out your hand if you're not gripping it properly, so make sure you keep a firm grip on here. But the sturdiness and of course the hardness of this material is what you're going for here. This is what it's like with it closed up. It's quite a nice look actually. I do like the sort of almost carbon fibre effect, I guess, here. It's quite cool. Got the Samsung brand on the back there. Let's check the cutouts here. All perfectly aligned. And we can see here we have the full cutout for the volume and the power key. No protection for the fold at all, so that is worth noting. Okay, so the screen protection, I would say, is non-existent really. This is going, as you can see here, to the very edge of the phone. There's no protection there whatsoever. So yeah, this isn't one for putting down flat on the table because basically there is no screen protection. We can see it from the side view as well, just to prove the point. There's nothing there sticking out, protruding for the Aramid cover. We are, however, protected for the cover screen by 1 millimeter or 2, and obviously the cameras as well. So at least they are protected. You're fine putting it down flat on the table, but just not front down. So there's no wobble at all. Obviously it's completely flat case. But yeah, it does feel really nice actually. The material, I've never actually felt Aramid before, but it is really nice. It feels good and smooth, and it does actually feel quite solid, and it does feel like you're protected, albeit the front of the phone is not protected, sadly. This is, again, just closed up. Not forgetting, obviously, that the fold itself is not protected. So if it was to drop down on a corner like this, then you are going to end up in tears more than likely. Yeah, that is the Aramid cover, £59. Quite nice. Good protection, mostly, except for the screen itself, which is not protected whatsoever. Right then, last but not least is the leather cover. So this is the most expensive out of the bunch with an RRP of £69. Don't forget, like I said earlier, you can get these cheap on Amazon if you wish. This does also come in 3 colours. So we have black, we have green, and we have mustard. So let's open up and have a look. Okay, so similar to the Aramid, we have a little section inside to add some grip to the case. We also get a sort of velvet type effect of material in here, which is nice and soft, and that'll be nice against your phone, won't cause any scratches at all. Now the leather itself, it doesn't feel very leathery, but it is extremely thin, as you can see. It's a very thin case, which is kind of what you want for your phone, really. So let's pop it in and see how we look. Okay, so this is it on the phone. It looks quite smart, quite stylish. When it closed up, again, it's quite a nice smart case, but you are obviously paying for the fact it's made from leather, so it is rather expensive for that. It does seem to cover up everything nicely, apart from the fold itself, obviously. Still see that there. So the cutouts on this one, we just have the power button again. The volume rocker is still fine though, as we can hear. The cutouts at the bottom are all lined up absolutely fine as well. So let's check the screen protection first with the main screen. And we can at least see that there is some protection here, a couple of millimeters around the main screen itself. And for the cover screen, plenty again for the screen and the cameras. So nothing to worry about there. So we should be absolutely fine putting this down on a table. Yeah, we can see that we're not going to be getting any issues there with it flat down. Let's just check for any wobble at all. There's not going to be anything here. And it is protected whilst out flat like this. So there's no issues at all with the camera wobble. So yeah, that's the leather case. Quite a nice looking one. Like I say, I went for the mustard originally, but not in stock, so this is obviously black. And the green one, again, I think the green one would have looked quite nice as well. It's a sort of dark green, but I just went for the one that was in stock. So yeah, this is a nice thin, non-obtrusive case. Now the grip obviously is not brilliant, at the moment at least, because it is brand new, soft sort of leather. I imagine over time that would wear down a bit maybe. Maybe even get even smoother over time. But overall it's quite a nice case, but it is rather expensive. Now don't forget, obviously, the fold itself is not protected at all with this case. So yeah, that is the leather cover. £69, like I say, it's quite expensive, but it is obviously a premium case or cover for those who just want a bit of extra class to their Z Flip 3. So that was my look and review of all the available covers for the Galaxy Z Flip 3. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do click the like button and subscribe if you did. I'm just going to run down quickly the pros and cons of each case as I see them before we finish, just to round up the video. Okay, so we started off with the clear cover here. So this came in at £24. It's a hard shell, a bit fiddly to get installed, but once it was installed, it worked absolutely fine. Now, the screen protection was fine. The side buttons were not all protected, so the volume rocker is obviously not protected here. We're going to stick with the fact that the power button will never be protected because we need it for the fingerprint scanner. But yeah, overall, a cheaper option, which allows you to see the color of your phone still through the case, and with the added benefit of the ring on the back for grip and holding. Now obviously if you have it flat on a table, it is going to wobble or seesaw slightly whilst you use it, so this isn't one for putting flat down on a table. So overall £24, not too bad, but we do get better cases the further up we go. So next up we had the silicone cover here. This was £34, and like I say, £10 more expensive, but you do get a nicer feeling case. The silicone, it comes in multiple colours: navy, green, olive green and coral, which we have here. And again, slightly better protection here. We have the volume button also protected, and we do have the ring to be able to hold the phone in our hand without it falling out. No protection for the fold itself when closed, but we do get a slight bit of protection from the ring as we did on the transparent case when it is closed up. So the front screen and the cover screen, along with the cameras, were all protected very well with this case. So that's quite a nice, sort of stylish, not too expensive case to go for. If you want this ring grip, I would go for this over the transparent one myself, but obviously it's down to you at the end of the day. So next up is the silicone cover with strap. So £34, and we swap the ring for a strap here. Now I actually prefer this strap because I think it just looks nicer. You've got a big bold statement here, a flip here, and it's all built in and it's easy to put on. Similar to the silicone cover ring, it's all built in. You don't have to worry about installing this flip strap. Now screen protection, again, similar to the silicone cover and the clear cover, absolutely fine on the cover and on the front of the phone. We also have the volume key protected as well. Now there's no issue with wobble at all with this on the table because this strap is flat when it's laid down. There's no issues whatsoever, so that's quite a good one to go for. If you do use your phone a lot on the table, I would go for this over the silicone cover with ring because you won't have any issues with wobble. And with this one closed up, we do get the majority of the fold protected by the strap here. Not 100%, but a lot more than on the ring cases. So next up, we step up in price with the Aramid cover here, and this retailing at £59 is extremely expensive, but you do get the Aramid material, which is this highly durable material, whilst keeping the phone itself very, very slim. As we saw though, there was no screen protection on the front of the phone itself. There was a tiny bit, a couple of mils, for the cover display, which is probably the most important one if you're putting your phone down flat on a table a lot. The volume rocker and the power key are both visible here, and obviously there's no protection at all for the fold itself. So not the best grip in the world, but very lightweight and a sort of hard, durable shell for your phone if you want to go down that route. And last up, we have the leather cover, which retails at £69. Again, this comes in black, green and mustard. And this, similar to the Aramid cover, is a very thin case, but it does actually offer screen protection where the Aramid did not. So the cover screen itself and the front screen were both protected here. We also have protection for the volume key. It's very lightweight, and if you want a leather case for your phone, then this is obviously the one to go for. The other colours might look a bit better, depends on which colour flip you've actually gone for here. But I thought the black one actually didn't look too bad, better than I thought it was going to look at least, because normally I'd go for the mustard colour leather. So don't forget, obviously with this one, when it's flat on the table, there's no wobble at all, but there is no protection either for the fold itself. Right, so that concludes the video. I hope it was useful to you, and do let me know down below which of these cases you're going to go for your flip. I think personally I am going to go for the silicone cover with strap because it's cool, it looks good, it's got the benefit of the strap to make it easier to hold. Like I say, this phone is a bit awkward, certainly with this glass back, and it's quite sort of long and narrow, that it is a bit slippery in your hand. So the best idea would be to go for a case that has a good grip. So don't forget, I've put affiliate links down below in the description if you want to pick any of these up. And yeah, just let me know down below which of these is your favourite and which of these you are going to go for. If you have any comments or questions, do leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to be notified when I next upload a video. If you want to become a member of the channel, you can click on the join button. That really helps out and allows me to make more videos like this in the future. Be sure to check out my other Galaxy Flip 3 videos. The links are in the description as well. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.